y'all, I'm Alicia, and today I'm going to be doing a book haul. These are in no particular order. It's just 13 books I've bought within the past couple of months. Unfortunately, because of COVID, I haven't been in an actual bookstore shopping in a long time, probably over a year and a half. Yeah, so all these were bought online, which is cheaper, but I like shopping in stores just because I like being around books. So yeah, let's just get into it. The first book on my list is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. And I have a whole book talk dedicated to this book on my channel, so if you're interested, I will link that down below. Other than that, I can't say much more about it other than it's about Nesta and Cassian, and she's training, and it takes place after the original ACOTAR trilogy, and yeah, that's about it. So this is my first book. The next book on my list is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer, and I don't have a book talk up actually for this book yet, but I have read it, and I liked a lot of it. There were some aspects I didn't like as much. I do plan on doing a separate book talk, so stay tuned for that. But overall, I did really enjoy this, and yeah, this is the second book on my list. The third book on my list is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I have read Ninth House as well as the Six of Crows duology so far, and I really enjoyed them. So I am actually planning on reading this trilogy. I don't have the rest of the trilogy yet, just the first one. But I do plan on reading this before the show comes out in April. And it's already April, so I better get a move on and start reading this very soon. And yeah, third book on the list. The next book on my list is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I have not read anything by Brandon Sanderson, but I see his name everywhere on BookTube and on Goodreads, and just everyone seems to love his writing. And I also have just been watching a lot of Brandon Sanderson's writing advice videos on YouTube, which I highly recommend if you're a writer or if you're just interested in watching any of Brandon Sanderson's content, because he's a really good public speaker and he just seems like such a cool guy. And yeah, I decided to pick up his writing for the first time, and I'm actually really excited because it has great reviews. So yeah, excited to read this at some point in the next few months. The next book I bought was This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal, El-Mohtar and Max Gladstone. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but I honestly know nothing about this other than it's a queer sci-fi time travel type thing written entirely in love letters or letters of some sort, and it sounds fascinating, and it is a really short read, and yeah, I'm really excited to pick it up because I've heard really great things about it. The next book on my list is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Again, I've read nothing by Maureen Johnson in the past, except for I think she worked on some of the short stories for the Shadowhunter Chronicles, so I have read those, but those aren't exclusively by her, so I'm not gonna judge it by that. But yeah, I've heard really good things about Truly Devious, and I think it's kind of like a dark academia vibe, so I'm actually really excited to start this. The next book on my list is Witches of Ash and Ruin by Latimer. I already have a book talk up on my channel about this book, so if you're interested to know my thoughts about it, I will link that down below as well. And if you haven't read it, it's about a coven of witches in Ireland, and the main character has somatic OCD as well as she is bisexual, and yeah, I just really liked the rep. So yeah, if you haven't heard of it or checked this out and you like witch books or witchy kind of vibes, this is the book for you, and I highly recommend it. The next book on my list is The Lost Book of the White by Cassandra, Clare and Wesley Chu. This is the second one in the Red Scrolls of Magic series, which I have not started yet, so yeah, I really just got this because there was a deal on Indigo, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god, I need the hardcover to match the first one. So yeah, I do plan on reading it really soon though. I actually bought it after reading Chain of Gold, I think, yeah, earlier this year. And yeah, I was like, oh my god, I need all of Cassandra Clare's books right now because I can't wait for Chain of Iron. And I actually did end up binging a lot of her books after that. So yeah, I haven't gotten to this yet, but I plan to soon. Keeping with the Cassandra Clare theme, the next book on my list is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare, and I loved this book. I also have a book talk for it on my channel, so if you're interested, I will link that down below. And yeah, I don't want to give anything about this book away because the first one is called Chain of Gold. If you haven't read that yet, don't read this one because you'll be spoiled. And also, I would recommend reading the series after the Dark Artifices, as well as the Infernal Devices. So yeah, if you're not done those series, I would recommend waiting to read the series, but yeah, it's so good. The next book on my list is Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, so I apologize if I'm not, but all I know about this book is that the character is half kitsune, which is kind of like a spirit fox trickster person in Japanese mythology, I believe. And yeah, that's all I know really going into it, and it has good reviews, so I don't know. But the only thing I've watched or read that has kitsune characters is Teen Wolf, and I'm not sure how faithful their adaptation was. So yeah, I'm not sure why. I've just been really interested in Japanese mythology lately, and I'm actually interested in a book called The Book of Yokai, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I might be butchering it, but yeah, I think it's like about Japanese like mythology, the legends and monsters and stuff from their culture, and yeah, I'm just really interested in it, and I'm very interested in kitsune because of Teen Wolf. Let's be honest, but I am interested in learning more about it and kind of how accurate that representation was. So yeah, really excited for this book. The next book on my list is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I have read the Darkest Mind series and I really liked it, and I've read Passenger. I never finished the Passenger series just because it wasn't my favorite, and I just have never gotten around to reading the second book. But yeah, I do think this one will be better, or I'll like it more at least just because it does build on ancient Greek mythology, which I'm really interested in. So yeah, I'm excited to pick this up, and it is a standalone fantasy, so it doesn't feel as much of a commitment picking it up, and yeah, I'm just excited to read it. The next book on my list is Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers. I am about halfway through this book, and I'm really liking it so far. It is about a PhD student who is now graduated. Her name is Grace Porter, and Grace, after she's done her PhD to celebrate, goes to Las Vegas and accidentally ends up drunkenly married to a girl named Yuki who lives in New York. And basically, she's in a bit of a crisis. She's having like a quarter life crisis. And she doesn't know what she's doing, and so she's like, you know what? I am having a mental breakdown here. Like, I need a break. And she decides to visit Yuki in New York, and that is as far as I got. And that's kind of not even giving anything away because like it's in the back of the book right here. Like, I'm not really spoiling anything. But yeah, I think if you're feeling lost in your 20s, this is definitely the book for you. It's kind of about finding your place. Like, how do you figure out what job you want? Who do you figure out who you are and what you like? And how do you do relationships and just all this stuff that I think a lot of 20-somethings, honestly, or like everyone struggles with. So yeah, highly recommend. The last book on my list kind of doesn't fit with the rest. It is nonfiction, and it is called Is Fred in the Refrigerator? Taming OCD and Reclaiming My Life by Shala Nicely. And yeah, I'm about halfway through this book. I bought it a couple months ago, and honestly, I got this just because I was really struggling with my OCD, and I was like, I need to read something from someone else who's gone through this, because there's not a lot of good rep of OCD in novels, and I was just like, I need something to know that someone else has like been through this, and like I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know if this is normal, and yeah, so I actually highly recommend this book for people who don't, not just people who have OCD, but people who want to learn more about what OCD is, how it affects people, and just how to maybe talk to people who have OCD about seeking treatment if they need it. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this book so far. It has, been very, I don't know, relieving almost to read it and be like, oh my god, someone else has had these thoughts. So yeah, highly recommend. That was it for my book haul today. That was 13 books I've gotten in the last couple months. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video. Thanks guys, bye.